Hey there, how y'all doing? This is Beta coming to you from inside my tent at the Birch Creek campsite 113 in the Smokies. It is 6:30 on Sunday, June 13th, and my little trusty Garmin device lied to me and told me there was just no chance of rain today at all. As good fortune would have it, I got up a little bit early and was restless, so I went ahead and got dressed and had my backpack and my food and everything hung on the bear cable like I'm supposed to. So I went ahead and fetched it a little bit early and brought it up to my tent. Got set up and was ready to start breaking camp, and no sooner did I take the pack cover off of the backpack that had been hung up than it started to rain buckets. So I quickly got everything inside my tent. And now I'm going to sit here and make breakfast and try to pack up from inside the tent and hope that this rain passes. I had hoped to be out of the camp at 7:30 this morning. It's only 6:30. I probably have enough time to get all packed up inside the tent and still get out of here by 7:30. But yeah, as a personal trait, adapting plans that I've made and was kind of happy with has always been a weakness for me, not a strength. And the Appalachian Trail is teaching me again and again every day that I have to become more adaptable to whatever Mother Nature's going to want to do in any given day, because clearly I don't have any control over any of this. So I'm just rolling with the punches today, trying to stay dry. So hope your day is getting off to a dry start, actually. Drier than mine, and I'll holler at you some more a little bit later on. Meantime, morning, y'all. Hey there, how you doing? So it's 8:30. The rain finally subsided enough for me to pack up my tent, and the sun is burning off the fog and the early morning clouds. As you can see behind me, it's quite a sight. So I've got 11 and a half, something like that, to go today to the Spence Field Shelter. It's a combination of uphill and downhill. It's actually as much climbing as I did yesterday, but there are several water stops and a couple of shelters along the way, and I'm in pretty good spirits. The rain delayed my start by about an hour is all. I did pack the tent up a little bit wet, so I may stop at one of the shelters and dry it out, or I may wait till I get to my final destination. But it's a beautiful morning. There were only one set of fellow campers last night, and they kept to themselves. I had a chance to practice packing up everything inside my tent while the rain fell, and making breakfast, taking my morning over-the-counter medications, basically getting completely ready. And by the time I was done with all that, the rain had stopped. So I knew that was something that was probably going to happen at some point on this trip. I didn't know how well that would work out for me or not, but it turned out to be a pretty nice morning. Also, on far out, it indicates that this campsite has some really aggressive bees. That is very true. And they weren't aggressive like trying to sting me, but until the sun went down, they were all in my vestibules. And as soon as the sun came up, they were back in there. But the rain kept them away a little bit. And part of why I got up early, fetched my backpack hang on the bear cable, was because somebody else on Far Out had warned me that they would be back first thing in the morning. So to whoever posted that on Far Out, I just want to say a big thank you, because so I'm about a half a mile in. First 45 minutes. It's been a lot of climbing, and it was overcast, but it never did really rain, and I ran across a couple things I wanted to catch. Like right there's my first blowdown, and it is a big one. And it looks like it might have been down for a while, so I think I go under it and then over the second part of it, but it goes clear back up here.
I also came across a significantly sized pile of fresh, very fresh bear scat. So the bears in the area are for real and big. It was the biggest pile of bear scat I've ever seen. So that means that was probably the biggest bear I've ever come across. Now, I didn't see that bear, thank goodness. But I don't intend to see that bear. So yeah, it wasn't too hard to get under on all fours and then over. But on the other side, you can see that the leaves are still green. So this is pretty fresh, or about 179 or 180 northbound. As you can see now, whereas just a little while ago the sun was starting to come out, now it's clouding over again. So the double-edged sword of Appalachian weather. These are some viburnum. Need to see if I can figure out which these are, since I have a bunch of viburnum back home. I like viburnums and the ferns. I think I might be on what on far out is labeled the 20-mile ridge, because it kind of feels like a ridge, although it's not the top of the ridge. That's up to my right. But it feels like a ridgeline walk in terms of that it's very flat. Wide, smooth, not rocky. So I reached a little dip in the terrain, which is a creek whose name I can't pronounce. It begins with an E. It looks like it's a pretty well-established water source, but I don't see a blue blaze anywhere. But I was a little surprised that there wasn't a blue blaze. I thought I'd note that for other people coming this way. This actually looks like it was once a signpost, which is gone, obviously. Those rhododendrons in the distance. There are a bunch of rhododendrons marking this spot, which are really in nice bloom this morning. Water. So I am going to take a pack off break here, just the pack, not the shoes. I haven't been playing with the phone as much because my batteries got to last a little bit longer than they normally do. My charging battery cells have to last an extra day, so I have to limit my phone use, which is okay. It means I get to focus more on the woods and just hiking, so that's been fun. I'm only a mile 7 or so from Mollies Ridge Shelter. That's about 5.5 or 5.6 miles on my day, so roughly it'll be the halfway point. And I think there I'll take a pack off, shoes off break and have some lunch. So I'm about a mile south of, or west really, of Mollies Ridge Shelter. And on the path ahead of me, I just saw about a 6-point buck. He's right in the trail, so I can't go past him. He looked right at me and then he moved up just a little bit. He was eating lunch, but I don't want to startle him either. On one hand, he seems none too concerned with me. On the other hand, that is a pretty good sized animal there, so he's just going to lead me up the trail, I guess. That's 6 or 8 points on that boy buck. That is one handsome animal right there. I'm in no hurry. You can have your lunch. I'm trying not to rush him because he seems like he's nibbling on something he likes here and there. As long as he doesn't turn around and come my way, I'm okay. If he turns around and comes my way, I might have trouble. Funny, all the stuff I thought to be worried about on trail, running into a great big buck was not one of them. Take your time. I'm not messing with you. I'm going to stay behind this big tree right here. I think he's going to head up into the woods away from the trail now. So this is Mollies Ridge. Really nice big stone shelter. This is the approach as you come up northbound off the trail. I don't think there's anyone here, so I went ahead and shot some stuff. This was closed for bear-related reasons until very recently. Last week. It's a nice big double-decker shelter. It's got a fireplace inside of it. A little burn pit outside where there's a water source one way, toileting area the other. I think I'm going to sit down and have a lunch break as long as I don't see a bear. I don't see one. There's the bear cable right there. Yeah. Mollies Ridge double-decker shelter. Even have little guides, which I didn't know before, about how much space you should take up for each hiker. Just kind of big enough for a sleeping pad. Today I've been coming across what I think are asters in the wild. Like this. They're all about this color. And they're either in new bloom or halfway through their blooming. And the bees seem to like them as much as I do. Here's some of them that are white or off-white. You can tell that the morning fog or dew or cloud cover, whatever that was, has completely lifted. Now the sun is coming down. Since I turned the corner up before Mollies Ridge Shelter, I had been going due north, and now I'm going more due northeast. Really east by northeast. So I'm about 2 or 3 miles, well actually 2 miles north of Mollies Ridge Shelter. And I found this blowdown, which is really fresh. Looks like snapped off right about there fairly recently. And it's hanging right down in the trail. So I'm going to work my way through it, but it does not look real stable. So it's 2:25 and I have already made it to the Russell Field Shelter. This section of a trail between Mollies Ridge and Russell Field Shelters is 2.5 miles long and is really very cruisy. There's a lot of uphill to it, but it's very gentle uphill. So it was a pretty nice walk, and I made really good time. Like I'm a half an hour ahead of when I thought I would be here. So I'll be at Spence Field by 4 or so, which is great. I am going to try to find the water source here and fill up. That's been the plan all along. So yeah, a little fire ring here. There's an informational sign back here of some sort. I think this is more, yeah, this is for the other points near here on the trail. Spence Field, 2.9 miles to my left. And then this is the Russell Field Trail. I'm only 5 miles from Cades Cove. Interesting. Fine. Yeah, this is a pretty good size shelter. Also, again, brick fireplace on the right-hand side. Probably sleeps, I don't know, I'd guess 18, 20, something like that. Doesn't have the little wooden separators to keep sleepers from rolling into each other's territory, but not sure people really need that. 2 levels. It's got a skylight on one side, so it's pretty nice. In this one, the eating area is right out front. Benches on both sides, and there's a standing food prep table, and then there's a table on this side. So I made it to the Spence Field Shelter. It's very much like one of the ones I was at earlier today. It has a much bigger kind of outdoor eating area in front of the double-decker sleeping platform, but it is in very good condition and has a fire ring. There's a sign to a couple of things. The water source is 1/10 of a mile down that direction, and somewhere around here, well, that's probably the water source, because there's a sign to the privy. So this is one of the, only about half of the shelters in the Smoky Mountains National Park have privies at them. The other half you have to dig your cat hole like I had to do earlier today. This one's even got an additional outdoor eating area out here. It's got 2 sets of bear cables over there, actually. So I'll be hanging my whole bag with everything, including my food in it, my whole backpack, everything but my sleeping stuff tonight like I did last night. But here's the double-decker. There's my gear. 2 decks of sleeping. It's got a little bit of a skylight up top. Since the light's hitting that side this evening, I'll pick this side over here. So I got here about 4:30. That was about a half an hour before my estimated time, so I made good time. I didn't really hurry at all. It didn't feel like, but I'm getting better at the taking several steps and then resting for just a second or so when I'm climbing the hills, and just not stopping. I also checked my phone and far out much less today. I'm starting to think that's some real bad waste of time. It's like, not like you learn anything, you still got, 3 miles or 2.5 miles or whatever to go. So pausing to wait for the software to find you on the GPS system doesn't add any benefit, I don't think, unless you do it on some schedule. So that's it for now. I'll set up my sleepwear stuff and get my bag hung. The weather seems like it might be changing even this evening, and there is supposed to be a chance of storms beginning tomorrow and increasing over the coming days. So, but today, no rain, was really quite excellent. I had not been here 15 minutes when this rain started in. Even have enough water already collected at the last stop that I can go ahead and make dinner and get ready to hang my pack up on those bear lines out there as soon as the rain lets up later on this evening, hopefully.